Good morning students. This is a video for the students of class 6th subject science. We were studying chapter number 14, that is water. This is your lecture number 5. This is summary lecture. So we will summarize the complete chapter in this lecture. Means these tasks can not be done without water. It means what? Water is very essential for us. We cannot live without water. We use water means we need water for drinking, for bathing and many other activities. And about 71% of body weight of human is water. Now the question is, how much water is present on the earth? Means, now we will discuss about the availability of water on earth. So students, about 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water. Means, large amount of water is present on the earth's surface. That's why our earth is called watery planet, and it also appears blue in color. Okay, that's why our earth is called watery planet. And out of this water, almost 97% of water available on the earth's surface is present in the seas and oceans. Means 97% of all water on earth present in oceans and seas. And this water is salty and cannot be consumed directly because large quantity of minerals dissolved into it. Hence, it is unsuitable for human use. Means we cannot use this water. And remaining 3% is fresh water. And out of this 3%, 2% of fresh water is found in frozen form as ice caps on the top of the mountains and in glaciers. And we cannot use this water. It means what? Only 1% of water can be used by humans. It means very less amount of water can be used by us. Amount of water for human use is very less. Only 1% of total water on earth is fresh water, which is available as river water, lake water and underground water, and can be used by human beings. Can you imagine that the entire world's population derives water from the fraction of this 1%? Now this pie chart is showing the availability of water on the earth. You can see that 97% of water is found in oceans and seas, means salt water. This water is salty. And 3% is fresh water. Out of 3%, 2% water is found in the frozen form as ice cap on the top of the mountains and in glaciers. And the remaining 1% water is fresh water, which can be used by us and present in rivers, lakes. Okay. Now the next question is that where do we get water from? Means how do we get water? Means now we will discuss about the sources of water that what are the sources of water. We get water from lakes, rivers, ponds or wells, but they contain many impurities. So these impurities are removed to make it suitable for drinking. Means the sources of fresh water available to us are rivers, lakes, ponds and groundwater. Okay, this water contain some impurities. So this water is cleaned by different processes before it is used by us. Now this picture is showing some sources of water. These are some sources of water. Thus we get purified water in our taps through a network of pipes. Means water is transported from these sources like from rivers, lakes and ponds to various places through a network of pipelines. A large number of people drove water from wells, tube wells and hand pumps. Next topic is, why is water important? Means what are the importance of water? As mentioned earlier that water is necessary for most activities of life, right? So in general we need water for many purposes. Some of them are like in agriculture, large amount of water is used in farming. Different crops need different amount of water, and the crops, the plants cannot grow without water. It means it is very important for us. Next is human use. Means we use water for many purposes like bathing, washing, cooking, etc. Or sometimes for entertainment also, like in the form of water parks. Okay, water is used. So we use water for many purposes as shown in this picture. Like we need water for washing our clothes, for bathing, okay, for cooking, for drinking. So it is used for doing our routine activities. Okay, this also shows that water is very important for us. Next is industries. Water is also used in industries. Almost all types of industries need water. Water is used as a raw material or a medium to wash, heat and cool substances. Okay, means it is also used in industries. Next is to generate electricity. Water is needed in large amount to generate electricity. For this purpose, structures called dams are created on rivers to control the flow of water. Means we can also generate electricity from water. So this is also one of the importance of water. Now our next topic is potable water. See, we know that large amount of water is present on earth, but about 97% of water found in seas and oceans, which we cannot use. Means that water cannot be used for drinking or any other activity. So what is potable water now? Water that is suitable for drinking, means the water which can be consumed by us, means the water we use for drinking and cooking is called potable water. And what are the features of potable water? Potable water is colorless, transparent. That why does water never finish? So it is because of water cycle. Means the total amount of water on the earth remains constant because of water cycle. Now what is water cycle? The continuous movement of water from the earth's surface as water vapors to the atmosphere and comes back to the earth's surface as rain is called the water cycle. It means water goes from the earth's surface as water vapors and then comes back to the earth's surface in the form of rain. And now we will recall that how the water cycle works. So the stages come in water cycle are, first stage is evaporation. What is evaporation? When sunlight falls on water, like when sunlight falls on river water, lake water, then water starts changing into water vapors, and this process is called evaporation. Means in the first stage, the water converted into water vapors and goes into the atmosphere. Okay. Means river water, lake water, ponds water evaporates continuously and the water present on the surface comes into contact with the air and changes into water vapors. See, when the sunlight falls on the liquid water, then due to heat, it will convert into water vapors. And this process becomes faster in the presence of the sun. Okay, and this process is called evaporation. Now second stage is condensation. What is condensation? The process of changing water vapors into water drops is called condensation. Means when the river water, lake water, sea water or ocean water change into water vapors, then all these water vapors rises up with the hot air, and as it moves up, then it will convert into water drops because temperature decreases as we move upward. So all the water vapors rises up with the hot air, and as it moves up, it becomes colder as the temperature decreases. Means temperature is low at the altitude, means at height. So due to low temperature, less temperature, all the water vapors change into water drops. The water vapor condenses into tiny droplets of water. Means at this stage, all the water vapors gets converted into tiny droplets of water. Means converted into water drops. And when these droplets move together in the air, then it forms cloud. Okay. Now this picture is showing that when the water vapors rises up, then clouds will form. Means it will form the clouds. Okay. So clouds will form because of the condensation process. And next stage is precipitation. Means when the water drops fall down in the form of rain, this process is called precipitation. See, in condensation process, clouds will form, and when these clouds become heavier, then they fall down in the form of rain. Means when the water drops become heavy, then they fall down in the form of rain, or sometimes they fall down in the form of snow also. The rain water, or we can say the water, comes back to the earth. Okay. So what is water cycle? The continuous movement of water from the earth's surface and comes back to the earth's surface in the form of rain is called water cycle. Like, first of all the water converted into water vapors by the evaporation process, then it will condense to form water drops and form clouds, and when these water drops become heavy, then they fall down in the form of rain. Okay, and when they fall down, this process is called, means when the rain comes, this process is called precipitation. So you have to draw the water cycle in this way. Means you have to mention the various steps, various stages which are come under water cycle. Now next topic is drought. What is drought? A condition in which there is no rainfall in a place for a long time is called drought. Means when it does not rain in a place for more than a year, or there is too little rainfall, the place is said to be under drought. Okay. So what is drought? When there is no rainfall for a long time or little rainfall, then this is called drought. This condition is called drought. This condition affects on us in a various ways. So the effects are: first effect is the soil becomes cracked due to the little rainfall. Okay, and the wells and tube wells dry up, and farmers are not able to grow crops because farmers depend on the rain to grow their crops. Okay, so farmers are not able to grow crops. People do not get enough water for their personal needs. Animals die due to the shortage of water. Means this drought condition affects the economy of the country. Okay, it also affects on the economy of our country. Next is flood. Now what is flood? Water accumulation in the water bodies due to excessive rainfall is called flood. It means excessive rainfall is called flood. Sometimes there is a excessive rainfall in a region, and this leads to the rise in the level of rivers. Water gets accumulated in surrounding areas. Look at this picture. This picture is showing a scene of flooded area, that due to excessive rainfall, it will rise the level of rivers. Means the river water comes in our residential areas, and water gets accumulated in the surrounding areas. Village, forest and fields go under water, causing loss of life and many resources. Means it will create many problems to us, like it will create problems for us and for animals also, and it has many bad effects. Some effects are: animals living in water get washed away and die. It also leads to lot of soil erosion, and top fertile layer of soil is washed away. Means due to excess amount of water, the top layer of soil, top fertile layer of soil is washed away. It also leads to the spread of many diseases because water gets accumulated in surrounding areas. So it will create many diseases caused by the decaying bodies of dead rodents and other animals. Now our next topic is ways to save water. We know that water is essential for the survival of living organisms, right? So we need to save the water. It is essential to save the water. And how can we save water? First way is close taps when not in use. Repair leakage from pipes, taps, etc. Take bath by using bucket instead of shower. Mop the floor instead of washing. So these are some ways by which we can save water. Next topic is rainwater harvesting. The process of collecting rainwater from roofs and storing it for later use is called rainwater harvesting. Means in this method we store the rainwater on the roofs of our home, okay, and we store it in a storage tank, and after that we can use this water for doing many activities. This picture is showing rooftop rainwater harvesting. Means when the rain comes from the clouds, then all the rainwater stored on the roofs and a pipe is connected to the roof, and through this pipe all the water goes into the storage tank, and this storage tank is under the ground. Okay, so in this way we can store rainwater. And why we are storing this water? So that we can use it for doing our daily activities. Okay, so this is a method of saving. Today's homework is solve assignment number 1, which have been uploaded on EdQuark, and prepare for the test. So this ends for today's lecture. Thank you.